My name is Joe Public, I'm sure you all know me.
So, I did a Freedom of Information request, got a reply today. Basically, the process of drug testing, please. I was actually hoping that something would come back that would put my mind at rest. It hasn't. I'm going to scroll through or down just the bits. I mean, that's what I asked them there in the bold. So this is where it gets weird. So you've got 4 tests in Essex randomly. This is just like one county. So, fucking hell. 18 to 20 officers. So, I'm just going to go with 20 officers on everything I say about this. So they tested 20. So approximately 80 will be tested a year. And I'll come back to that. Just letting people read this. I know you can pause it, but I'm kind of reading it myself at the same time as well. This part here, the selection of individuals tested under the random testing program is not driven by cause, which is where the force believes or is evidence to suggest that an officer blah 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 is off his fucking nut, basically. This part here, just letting everyone read it. Actually going to scroll back to the start because I'm going to go through the things that I'm picking out on this that I think are a little bit weird. Other people might be able to pick up better things like from reading between the lines. But right, where are we starting at? So we've got 20 officers, and then they say at the end, 80 officers will be tested per year. Right. A quick search for Essex police officers, how many are serving, is roughly 2,900. 2,900 officers. And only 80 a year will be tested. So that's a bit worrying. That's just like, fucking hell. That's just crazy. Seriously crazy. The next part I wanted to look at was this part here. I'll get to that cause part. I think that's at the bottom even more. The testing process is administered by an independent toxicology organisation. Fair enough. But if you read this bit, after that, in conjunction with the Forces Human Resources Department. So straight away, that's ringing alarm bells to me. That is not independent. Because the Forces Human Resources Department are probably going to be like, oh yeah, test that one, test that one, test that one. Yeah, leave those other ones over there that look off their fucking faces. Just test these 3 and then go somewhere else or whatever, you know? It's kind of the same as professional standards. You report that you've been beating the shit out of, and they're like, we didn't do nothing wrong. And it's kind of what they're doing here, from what I'm reading there. The random drugs test, blah, blah, blah. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, there's more in that. I'm not seeing steroids there. Like anabolic steroids, which make people aggressive if they don't do it properly. You do get aggressive, but if you do it right, you can control it. I don't know anything about that, of course. But, yeah, they should be testing for that, because that's one of the drugs that could be causing people to get the shit kicked out of them. Where's... So they only tested 19. I mean, this is a fucking piss take, isn't it? 2,900. And they tested 80, and they'll do it randomly. But it's not random, I don't think. Because they've got their own department controlling the drug testing people. I do not think this is random. This bit is really interesting. With cause testing, I'll just shut up and let people read that quickly. Right. From what I'm reading from that is, if you or even another police officer actually rang up anonymously and said, this PC Smith or Sergeant Cuntchop is on drugs, they can actually just go, nah. To actually do the cause testing. I mean, look, this information must be in written documented form and will not normally consist of a single piece of information or intelligence from an anonymous source. So, I'm being funny, but if I rang the police and said, I think my neighbour or whatever is on drugs constantly and I think they might be dealing drugs, they'd be straight round there smashing the fucking door in. But they won't do it for the police. So yet another alarm bell. And then you've got, with cause testing in Essex Police, is facilitated by the professional standards team. Yet again, those people, if you ring them up and say, one of your police officers touched my cock, or did something that they're not supposed to do, and they do actually touch my willy quite a few times, by the way. If you ring professional standards and make a complaint, they won't even talk to the police officer. They will go, we investigated it, no he didn't. Even if it's on camera most of the time. This is a fucking joke. I was actually hoping I was going to get something that would put my mind at rest, but this is fucking unbelievable. Oh well.